Alright, so there's a lot of cool little changes in here, but I'm not going to go over pretty much any of it. Though there are some cool things, like I said, like the thing that they're removing the snacks, and, you know, which a lot of people are happy about that. I made a lot of complaints about the thing. I actually don't think it's in here. They're improving the world boss, you know, but half of that stuff is stuff they should have really already been doing. So I guess clap, clap. Wow, you guys are paying attention. Yes. Like you see here, they're doing the world boss better. The pet improvements, so repeat battle is going to be regular now. You know, a lot of stuff people complain about. I don't know. I just feel like when they make crazy, silly stuff like this, one, who approved it? Two, why did it take so long for them to fix it? And sorry, I already know the answer to that. It's because they're very stingy on stuff. These games, these gacha games, they always have a internal struggle on how much they want to give to the players versus how much they want to restrict so they can try to make money off of it. And again, not that I'm knocking it, well, I am, but not to that degree. You know, I understand that there has to be some type of way to make money, but when you do stuff that's actually just silly and annoying, it just becomes that. So I can't even be like, wow, you guys fixed it. Like the thing with Alencia, I was happy that they fixed, because that was actually like a mistake. This is like business-oriented stuff. So, you know, that's nice that they're fixing that. But, oh yeah, this is nice too. Like, they actually want people to play the camping part of the game. They was like, what? No one wants to camp anymore? No, because camping's terrible. But at least now you can see the stuff like, oh, what thing should I pick? It shouldn't be random. Whatever. But that's actually not why I'm here today. What I wanted to cover today was actually the new artifacts. I wanted to do a separate video specifically for the new artifacts because as a summoner, which I basically am, I'm a collector. I don't play the game all too seriously. Though, with Pavel coming out, with getting Asaria, Euphine, getting all these characters, honestly, I should show you guys. If you guys ever want to see my entire account, like everything that's on my account, I think you guys would be like, yo, bro, you should definitely take this game a little bit more seriously. But I've also said a lot of times in my summon videos that when you get a 4-star artifact, it's like, all these things are maxed out already. Blah, who gives a damn? But now there's some more PvP-oriented artifacts that are coming into the game, and that's what I want to cover, because Time When we already did a video on. That's nice that he's coming. Sucks that he's going to be alongside Bellona. Not that people really need Bellona anymore. She was really good early game, and the Iron Fan, I just made fun of that in I forgot what video that was. So that artifact is doo-doo. Now they're bringing in 4-star artifacts, so let's go over them and think about what characters can really utilize them, if not just an overall good artifact to have, like some of them are. So first is going to be Andre's crossbow. I feel like I was going to say that wrong for somehow. And Andre's crossbow is 50% chance to remove 2 souls after a single attack, and then it goes up to 100%. If you guys don't know, every time the level 1 thing, it's usually doubled. Something's doubled. So it either would have been 50% chance to remove 2 souls, or it would have been 50% chance to remove 4 souls, or, you know, it's something doubles when it's maxed out. Now, if we go for this is a ranger artifact, so let's go into game. Maybe I should actually have the game up. That might help. Arc Knights, the game everyone's playing. Raid Shadow 11, the game everyone really knows about. I mean, I feel like I'm not officially a YouTuber if I don't do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsored ad. They won't sponsor me, but I really think that, you know, I deserve a shot. I think I'd make a really good Raid Shadow Legends ad. All right, we are finally here. So, as the thing states, it is for single attacks. And since it's a 4-star artifact, as all these are, you're going to have a pretty decent chance of getting these maxed out over time. So if we go by characters that can really utilize this a lot, by removing souls, obviously this is more of a PvP thing, and more specifically RTA, because no other place would it really matter. I do think Asaria will be really good. She has 2 single target attacks, and that's just a free added benefit. I know a lot of people use Song of the Stars on her, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Litica would also be good, you know, because she has 2 single target attacks, the S1 and her S3. Same thing is going to be said for Faithless Litica, who has a S1 and S3 that is utilized. I'm just thinking of characters that really would need it. Faithless Litica would probably be amongst the best because she's resetting and stripping, and just giving her that added ability to remove souls just to have that on the team and the other person can't soul burn, especially on a fast character. Like Asaria, I don't know exactly how fast she is. Let me double check this actually, I don't remember. 112, pretty good, but we all know Lytica's are 124, so that's gonna be a little bit better. I like Furious because he's the same way. S1 and S3 is good. I don't think you'll see him too much in PvP, but he does have a decent buff that he does give out, but I don't know if you'll see him in RTA. Same thing with Shuri, Silk, Wanderer Silk. Wanderer Silk I think actually has the potential to be in there. Watch your Shuri though, I think has a good shot to go into RTA because he does have the snipe, and the snipe would just remove souls. Because the thing about souls and soul burning is that it has to be a specific amount. So if you're at 8 and not 10, you can't use your 10 soul burn. Obviously 18 to 20, you know, you can't use it. So even just messing with that number a little bit just screws your opponent up just slightly, especially if you put it on a character that's gonna go first. So I really like it on, like I said, Asaria, and both the Lyticas I think are the best ones for it. Next up is the Spell Sepulchrum, something like that. They did it twice, which I don't know why. I didn't know the purpose of that. I think it was just good old Smilegate errors. And this one is just damage mitigation. Decreases damage taken by 4%. Effect increases by 4% with each attack suffered and can stack up to 3 times. So this one is gonna double with the 8% and increases by 8%, stacking up to 3 times. So 24% damage mitigation, which is not that bad, especially on a, this is for a warrior. If you're thinking about warriors that are meant to sit there and be a little bit more tanky, that they have some type of other sustaining mechanic or anything like that, or you can use a gear set to do it. So let's go over to that. Characters I think that would utilize this the best is going to be, like I said, the more tanky, the HP scaling based warriors. Even Ravi I think wouldn't be the bad. I know she's not HP scaling, her sister is, or her Moonlight variation. I think Ken would do okay with it, but again, you're competing with some of their 5-star artifacts that are a little bit better in those type of slots. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I think Luna would be good with it as well because she does a lot of damage and all she needs to do is not die. She's a character that people will go and look to snipe, and that's why characters like this, Ken, martial artists Ken, if you try to sometimes want to trick people to thinking that they can kill them and you have like Proof of Valor. This one is kind of like a different version of Proof of Valor for a warrior because it's like they take more damage after getting hit multiple times, and then it resets once they get their turn. This one just keeps the damage after they suffer 3 attacks, which if you know the meta in RTA is that most of the time, especially if Seaside Bologna is there, I don't know if Pavel's gonna boop her out of existence, but that's kind of the issue, is that that's always gonna be a thing with these AoE attackers, Charles, butting into attacks they has absolutely no business coming into. So I think that that's what I'm looking to seeing, how good that's gonna work in my opinion. I'm really interested to see that. Dark Corvus would be really good. Apocalypse Rabbi would be really good. Corvus, haven't seen him a lot, but I think he would obviously be good with it. Just something to keep these characters alive longer. Cartuja really synergizes with the way his kit works because he has a built-in heal after taking some damage, so he can take all that damage, stack up the artifact, heal it back with the S3, give himself a defense buff, and he's a really tanky motherfucker, you know, like that's pretty good. And Purgus, again, he would be nice with it. I think Assassin Cartuja would be nice because he already has a damage mitigation thing in there. That first miss automatically would also make him very pesky to deal with, in my opinion. General Purgus also would be nice with it too. And there's no such thing as 3-star warriors. He doesn't count. He doesn't count because he has a specialty change. Same thing with Ricorous. Next up, the Knights. Getting that. Oh, this one's dirty. This one I think might be the best one if I'm not mistaken. And this is the Steadfast Gatekeeper. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 4% when attacked by a skill that targets all allies. We're talking about AoE. So this one's crazy because I'm just gonna actually go to the artifact real quick. Now the Hillig Lance, and this one is when someone else gets hit with a single target attack, you're gonna get combat readiness. As you can see, the combat readiness at the end of the day is bigger. It's 8%, it's 10%. This one maxes out the Steadfast Gate Guardian, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! I was watching some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff yesterday. 8% AoE, right? But this one is when anyone gets single target attack. The Hillig Lance is when anyone gets single target attack except the caster. Then they'll get a combat readiness push. Now it's still pretty good. You have to bring it in very situationally. I don't even know if that's a word. Really good about the Steadfast Gatekeeper is that there's so much AoE out there, and getting combat readiness push on a knight is usually a good thing because knights usually aren't blessed with speed. So I really like this artifact. Just for example, I think that Fallen CC would be nuts with it. Lilius. Charles, I think his home and destiny is with Elbereth's Ritual Sword. I don't really think you could part him with that. But at the same time, if you want the S3 to come off, it wouldn't be that bad to have it on Charles. I think Tywin, anyone that pretty much, once they get their first turn, a lot happens. And I think that that's what it's about. Like, crowd S2 and getting the S2 off a little bit quicker, you know, just so he can put the defense buff on everyone after they done taken, you know, some type of AoE. You know, Seaside Bellona's, hopefully not that one, because then there's unbuffables, but I think Fallen CC might be like amongst the best ones to have that. Elbereth's Ritual Sword is good on her, but I think that having her turns come up at going against teams that are oriented around AoEs is good. And the thing is that since a knight can just have that, when you're picking an RTA, they don't know that your Charles is actually not on Elbereth's Ritual Sword, he's on this. So all of a sudden they have an AoE based comp, and then they're just boosting up your knight all day. That's crazy. So I almost would say this is really good on almost any of them. Like Crimson Armin, like you think that she's slow, like you build her with some decent speed, but she has that artifact on it, and all of a sudden she cuts because the other team has 1 or 2 AoEs that are sped quicker than her. She cuts them and then S3s and then blocks everything. That's actually crazy. I think that this artifact should not be slept on because it's really, really, really good. Oh yeah, Raz can use, I'm just kidding. Silver Rain. Now first of all, mommy looking kind of sassy. Look at that, man. She looking pretty good. You know, a little booty out there. The nice, not over gargantuan, gigantamax titties. You know, I'm just not a fan of that. Sorry, never have, never will be. But Silver Rain is a thief artifact, and it's very weird. This was probably the reason why I even wanted to do this video, because I wanted to see for myself what would work with this artifact. And this artifact reads at state 50% chance to increase attack of a random ally that is not the caster for 2 turns when using a non-attack skill. Then it goes up to 100% chance, which is crazy. First of all, it kind of sucks that it's a random ally. The only way you can fully utilize this is if any way, shape, or form you're using like a full DPS oriented team. But let's go into the thieves and see what we can dig up, because I actually don't even know. I was like, I don't know who would work with that. That seems so weird. Because first we have to go in here and find a thief. Oh, sorry, not you. We have to find a thief that has a non-attack skill. And I don't know if that's really that much possible. First one that's going to come to mind, I think the most people, is going to be Violet. Violet has the S2 non-attack skill. The problem is that it's going to give an attack buff to somebody else, not himself. So I'm not really sure about that. There's Judith, her S3, because she's a pusher. That's also going to bring into mind Ruzid. He has a push skill. And Hatan, or Hetan, or not, it's Hatan, I guess. He has also a S3 that just gives out, well, here it already gives an attack buff, so I guess that's kind of silly. Yeah, those are like the only ones. I'm assuming they might bring out more thieves that have more support orientation. Like Crescent Moon Rin was supposed to kind of be like that version of a support-esque thief. And maybe they'll make more, and then they'll be like, oh guys, remember Silver Rain? Or maybe it's that one that they made that's new that's just garbage, and then like you'll just use it for powder. Because yeah, the only person I can think of is just Judith and Violet. Everyone else is pretty much attack, 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 or they have a passive. Their passive is like a second skill. It's not like a Lena's passive or anything like that. So yeah, Silver Rain, even though she's looking good, I don't see. Maybe this character will drop and it will make a lot more sense, but yeah. Next up is going to be Bartez's Arbuckle. I mean, I don't know what that is, but whatever. We're going to go into the mages, and it's going to say that is 10% chance to decrease damage received when attacked by 50%. And then, of course, you know the classic, when more than one affected, yeah, I got you. So, and then it's going to go up to 20% chance. So, what this is for, I wouldn't necessarily say it's for a tanky mage. Oh my god, Zeno buff! But what it's really for, which is fun to see or something like that, is, I guess, in my opinion, like RTA. You see this on a character, are you going to kill them? Because reducing damage by 50%, I'm saying, you know, the dirtiest of dirtiest snipe is gonna maybe be like, let's say 10,000. Reducing that by half is obviously like 5,000, just quick mathing it, right? All of a sudden, you wasted a skill on a mage and it didn't do anything. 20% is a really big gamble though, but it's not that bad. The issue though is that, you know what I'm gonna say, mage artifacts are highly contested. They're very, very highly contested. it's really hard to say like, oh, I'll put it on this character, they'll try to kill him, and then if the 20% procs, they won't kill him. And then there's other artifacts that are just a little bit more guaranteed. So if anything, yeah, maybe you want to bring it on the tankier ones, like, or the ones that are more support oriented. Like you can do it on Silverblade, Sage, you know, Bowels and Sezen. If you're just trying to like kind of throw people off, they're trying to kill it, and you get a lucky proc and it happens. Like I wouldn't want it necessarily on Dizzy unless you're going counter Dizzy and you're not going Abyssal Crown, but you want to have her stay alive a little bit longer to just get the counters. But everyone else, it's really a hard sell. Maybe you want to put it on Basar, like if you're not running Takahela's book and you just want him to go fast, but if he doesn't go, you want him to survive a hit or two by chance. It's all by chance. So it's really hard, in my opinion, to say like, oh, I know a perfect character that would be good. Yeah, Champion Zerato, but most people run him on Ayala's Violin, or you're gonna run him on Abyssal Crown, you know, just make him pesky as heck. But it would also help him stay alive, so I can't really front that at all. I feel like, oh god, Benevolent Roman. Man, why don't you just put on him, the freaking RNG god himself? Why not? But yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of that artifact either. But I'm pretty sure someone's gonna get screwed by it, and then they're gonna be like, well, this is the best artifact in the game. I can't kill this mage character. It keeps proccing, because it's gonna proc on defense, just not when you're attacking. And last but not least, Eternus, the Soul Weaver artifact, and it states increases combat readiness of the caster by 4% when a debuff ally except for the caster starts a turn. Interesting. So this is obviously in a double, go up to 8%, and when a debuffed ally takes a turn. So this is specifically purposefully going into a debuff comp, because you wouldn't want to have this you wouldn't want to have this artifact if you knew specifically, oh, I'm going to cleanse all the debuffs all day. So you're going into there saying, well, I'm going to go into there. Maybe the Soul Weaver themselves is the cleanser. Like if you're running Tamarine, let's just switch over. I think that might make it easier. So you're going to accept that there's going to be some debuffs on the enemy team, and you're going to take some of them, because if they take turns, you know, your Soul Weaver will get a combat readiness boost every time they take a turn, especially if they have a turn reset in their kit. Might be a little crazy, but it has to be like she's not debuffed. I mean, most of the Soul Weavers are. Your Soul Weaver is not debuffed, and now they're benefiting from the other ones. I still think there's just way too many good Soul Weaver artifacts. Like, I do like the concept of it, that you're gaining a turn based on maybe possibly a fast character that got debuffed on your team. So that fast character is giving you a turn quicker so you can cut. But I feel like it's kind of hard. But like I said, I do like that on Tamarine, Ruel of Light, and Make Chloe. Kind of like to just mess around. Combat readiness pushing under random conditions, not random, but certain conditions, really makes it hard for your opponent to understand what's going on, because it's like, And for this one, I've been talking about PvP. This one's really good for PvE, because as you guys know, in certain places in the labyrinth, as you can see in the bottom, oh, you can't see it there, but the labyrinth improvements, but in certain bosses, there's a lot of times where you might get a debuff and it might stay with you. I had that, and also in the Abyss as well. Like, oh, that character's stunned. And this is another reason. Oh, your character's stunned. They started the turn with a stun, and now your Soul Weaver is going to gain some combat readiness for it. So it also has not preventative measures. I'm sorry. It has what I like to call like damage control. Like if stuff starts to get out of hand, your characters keep getting stunned, or they're getting CC locked, or they keep getting stupid debuffs. At least now your Soul Weaver can maybe heal them up or cleanse them. I can see this maybe on other characters like Angelic Montmorency. That might not be that bad. She's getting more turns to cleanse, and then if someone does get a little oogie boogie on it, then you know it procs. It's like, it's definitely good, and that's, you know, the things about Soul Weaver, that most of their artifacts are in fact good. It's just you have to have some type of really mean game plan if it's not PvE. Like if PvE makes sense, you know the bosses, you know all their moves, you know prior to going into the fight that artifact's gonna be good. But if you go fight a team comp, or if you're doing RTA, you might not run into a super heavy control based team that's going to really affect it, and it's like, damn, I should have used Celestine. Dang, I should have used, I forgot the name of the other one. Ios Cheer. So what the hell is Stala Harpa? I forgot what that was. But yes, Ios Cheer, Rod of Amiris. Unfading Memories is okay. But these 5-star artifacts are super strong, and Warrior's Origin's not to laugh at either. Wondrous Potion is, once they get the turn, they're just gonna cleanse a debuff. So, and the Tome, obviously the legendary Tome for just like constantly being a pest and stealing turns, it just makes it really hard, really hard to like factor that one in. But it does have a home, it does have a place if you're trying to throw someone off when they try to cleave you or do something of that nature with a bunch of debuffs. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what characters and heroes you're hoping to get a buff. Maybe if there is a character that I did not think of and I was like, yo, how did you not think of that character with this? But most of these artifacts are geared towards PvP, which is pretty much the end game for all gacha games, unless it's a PvE focused gacha game. It's mostly PvP. They always have a lot of work to do to satisfy people on a continual basis. We do have to give them some credit for that, kinda, sorta, but they also have to be mindful. Like, it shouldn't take this long to fix certain things in certain aspects of the game. In my opinion, it's very easy, and we all know what we want. Is just depending on if they want to actually give it to us. And I just saw that they said artifact summon tickets. I guess we'll eventually get purely artifact summons, which I actually don't mind. I definitely wanted that for a long time as well. Anyway, just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.